Shalom, Makim. I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. And say text to all the Akim and all four corners of earth who's pushing his truth and sincerity. Shalom, Makim. We're getting into this little article I have right here, man. You know, just it's showing more and more of the times that we're in right now, man. You know, these days are getting ready to get very, very ugly out here, man. You know, these people are preparing for these horror days, these so-called holidays, you know, and I'm watching more and more of these news programs, and they're saying how people are you know, they're trying to save a buck. They're trying to skip a buck or two. So a lot of the people are trying to skip on traveling, you know, because right now is a big travel time for these people. You know, they're stuck in this worldly mirth. You know, people like to go to travel to visit the families and all that shit. That's just been cut off. You know, you just finished Thanksgiving Day a few weeks ago, you know, and they were talking about the shortages of butter, the shortages of food for that. Well, guess what? This is a shortage coming up for this so-called Christmas coming up, man. You know, the same effects is happening, man. Nothing's changed, man. The goddamn elites are showing and pulling food off the shelf at a rapid rate, you know. And here it is over in the UK that says British farmers, you know, British farmers warn of food supply crisis. and one thing about you Americans, you know, like the, you know, as long as they happen right in front of your face, they're gonna affect you, you know. A lot of the natural disasters that happen here in America, you know, that's their battle cry. It didn't happen to me, so it ain't really affected me. That's the way they feel and stuff. That's their pompous feel, you know. But at the end of the day, that's over in Britain, you know. And this we live in something. We have something called a world market that we depend on, you know. And the world market goes as Britain goes, as England goes, these different countries goes. So does, you know, your American market's gonna go. So everything's basically, I'm trying to say, is a trickle effect. So everything that's happening in Europe will be happening here in America very soon. You know, they got right now Ukraine and over in Europe, they're going through winter, just like we're going through winter right here. But guess what's going on over in Europe? Wartime is happening, and prices are shooting up out the wazoo. This article's going to point some of those facts out. Let me read some of it. It says the government's inaction risks further shortages in the country. The NFU warns huge price hikes have left Britain's farmers and growers in dire situation. Which could lead to a food supply crisis across the country, the National Farmers Union has warned. According to its report on Tuesday, fertilizer, feed, fuel, and energy are now more expensive due to the conflict in Ukraine, and that thing disruption to supply chains, that jump shot they got out there. So what's going on in Ukraine is jump shot. They're putting down and they're blaming it on the food crisis that's happening over in Europe, you know. And if you know anything about Ukraine, you know, in Russia, period, they have huge, a lot of the grains and a lot of the veggies and stuff come from that area, you know, that the people eat and use, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's affecting the market, man, you know, whether the prices go up or down, man. You know, like just the other day here in America, you had a food plant that another one of the food plants caught on fire. I'm gonna do a video on that, man, because these things are set up in design. The elites are doing this on for a reason, man. You know, so all this stuff is happening in Ukraine, and also that jump shot that shut down the world. You know, is all affecting how Britain is getting their food. He said the current shortage of eggs could spread to other food products, the union warned. And the eggs, what happen, you know, every other year they come out with a bird flu. And what they do with the chickens, they go out and just mass slaughter them. They call it calling them, you know. So this devil he has, you know, he does mass slaughtering at a huge rate of the animals, man. You know, with no disregard of the things that come down the road, man. He don't care about those things. He don't care about his people being starved out. He don't care about his own. You know, energy intensive crops, including tomatoes, cucumbers, and pears, are reportedly on track for the lowest yields since the records began in 1985 as producers leave agriculture in the face of rising costs, And one other thing, because the same, like I say, the same thing happens in Britain be happening here in America. So a few years back, the heartland of America from Indiana, Wisconsin, where you get a lot of your corn and a lot of your dairy products. A lot of these were private-owned farms. The government came through and swooped all these places up, man, and made them change to making money another way. Because basically that's what a farmer does. He's there to make money. He loves his job, but he also is there to make money at the end of the day. Because he has to survive and live, and the products that he uses to pluck the things out of the ground cost money. So whether it be a tractor, these different feeds and stuff like that, all those things cost money. So the government, he regulated the tractors they were using, made them try to upgrade to new tractors. And when they made them upgrade to new tractors, they pushed the prices up. And these farmers couldn't pay out their pocket for it because they usually pay with the food that they sell. But because they haven't been selling food at a high rate like they used to, now they have to borrow money from the banks to buy these high-ass tractors. So what happened was when they couldn't pay their tractor prices or a price on something, what happens in America? The government takes it from you. So he took his land and stuff. He took a lot of these farmers' land and forced them to grow other things and made them, sell their farms, basically. A lot of the farms got sold in the last 10, 15 years here in America, man. Now they're owned by the government, So the government and the elites play they play a big game here in Babylon the Great, man. They play a big game. This is let me read this out. This is Joel 1, and I'm gonna start at 15. Alas, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and his destruction from the Almighty shall it come. And that's what we're looking for, man, because this place ain't been nothing good here, man. When you have elites that can control and manipulate the system, that's not good, man. He can tell when you can eat and when you can't eat. And especially with the advanced technology they're going to come out with, they're testing out, and it's all in the news, We know what it is, man, that thing they're going to put in your body, man. It's going to track you down and make sure that you comply to every rule they have out there, man. That's the times we're coming down to, man. He said, this Joel 1:16 is not the meat cut off before our eyes. We see these things happening right before our very eyes, man. It's a beautiful thing to be in this truth, man, because we see these things, man. These scriptures speak to us, man. And we're able to see these things and decipher these things, man. We're not in the dark. We're not knowing what's going on. Brothers put up a little article not too long ago that showed you the number of meat factories that have been burnt down in the United States alone. And this ain't by no coincidence. Nothing's by coincidence. Everything is done by design, man. Yeah, so this meat is being cut off right before our very eyes, man. Let me read some more of this article, man. He says the NFU highlighted that the nation had lost about 70,000 agricultural businesses since 2019. The danger is that we produce less and less for our food here, and we become more and more relevant on imports. And that's when the government comes into play, man, because he's going to regulate all of that stuff, man. This is where the government comes into play. He makes sure who eats and who doesn't eat, man. So, yeah, everything's being cut off right before your very eyes, man. Everything is, man. He said the tomatoes, the cucumbers, they ain't got feed out there, man. This stuff is going down. It's going down out here, man. UN urged the government to provide urgent support to struggling farmers and allow 1,500 additional seasonal workers to come from abroad to help pick crops, man. So, like I said, here in America, they got the tractors that pluck those crops. But like I said, you got to take out loans to get them things. And the American government wants you to have up-to-date things, and they want you to take them loans out. And that's where they get these people, and they'll take their farms sooner than later. But, everything is a game here in America, man. But when it's happening over there in the mother, these are things, signs, man. And we're paying attention to these things, man, that's happening out here, man. And we're not caught in the whole, these horror days that they got out here, We're not We're not stuck in the BS in Kanye West sagas. We're not stuck in the presidential debates and all that bull that they got out here, man. They got a lot of follies out here, man. This is what you got to be paying attention to. This is real news. British farmers warn of food supply crisis. This is real news because these people were real happy at one time. Let me continue with this. This says Joel 1:16, it's not the meat cut off before our very eyes, yea, joy and gladness from the house of our power. The seed is rotting under the cobs. The gardens are laid desolate. The barns are broken down. The corn is weathered, man. And these are plagues that are happening right now, man. Right now, man. You know, and once again, Esau is out here telling you everything's gonna be all right. It's going to come back to normal very soon. We just got to take this and take that and abide and listen to your masters, basically what they saying, man. You know, this is what they're saying, man. This is Ezekiel 14 and 13. Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by transpassing grievously, then will I stretch out my hand upon it, and will break the staff of the bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it, man. You have the article said, man, we don't grow nothing. He said, look, where he said we don't grow nothing. We import everything, man. He said we import everything, man. The danger is that we produce less and less of our food here and become more relevant on imports, man. They're more relevant on imports, man. That's dangerous, man. That's not a good thing. You need to be able to grow your own things, sustain your own. But like I said, here in America, the same thing happened, man. Where the government came through and took away a lot of the farms, man. A lot of your private-owned farms have been taken over, man, by the government. He don't want you growing nothing unless he says so, man. It's getting ready to get ugly out here. The happiness of this place is done with. Let me bring this out real fast. This is Isaiah 24 and 8. The mirth of tabernacles cease. The noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp cease, man. So all that happiness and everything is getting ready to come to an end, man. From the mother to the daughter, man. You know what I'm saying? We see nothing but sorrow and hopelessness coming to this place. You know, other than for the hopeful elect, you know, that are breeding and staying down in this word, man, because we see the things that's happening right before our very eyes, man. You know, and we're gonna pray and thank the Lord for it happening, man, because this has been a thorn in our side, man. You know, the Lord knows how we feel. He knows that we're being worn down and beaten down in this place, and you know, these people's happiness turns into these people's grievousness turns into our happiness, man, because that means the Lord is showing His powers, man. You know. With that being said, just edifying. Shalom, Maki.